Folks! Oh, God, it's probably really loud. Folks, you might recognize the intro because I'm going to do a reaction video to another video of what I believe is the absolute worst, which is upsetting. It's upsetting because I genuinely like this YouTuber, and I follow him. It's Nostalgianomics. Now he's got like 10,000 more subscribers than me. He's at like 19,000. Anyway, this is not a drama channel nor ever anything like that. And I think he's genuine about things. I've seen clips from this. Someone told me to do this as a reaction. I was supposed to react live to this. I've seen a little bit, so I am just going to click view and we're going to go. I'm going to play it a little bit faster speed for you, so you'll get the gist. I don't know if there's going to be any editing magic or not. Now, just to give the background. Now, he's usually sitting on some cases of cards. So he's got a lot of cards. I saw he talks about a $2,000 amount. He talks a lot about the investing world. Now, I am in that world. I've been in that world for the last 12 years now. He brings up smart money. He brings up Wall Street. And I'll be honest, if you've seen this video, I don't know if you even agreed with them. I just don't think you've met anybody in Wall Street or smart money in general. Anyway, let's jump into it because I'm gonna play and I'm gonna react as we go. It's just the best way I know how to do things. There he is. Here's our guy. Are you copying me? Anyway, we got the same mic. I have a different holder though. I like his background. I like that background. I do. Anyway, let me turn his audio on.
Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. This video is for all the real investors out there.
God, I hate the quotes. I hate the quotes. The real investors, because you know what it's. we haven't even made it 8 seconds into the video. You just know there's going to be something said in here. I'm going to try to let this one go.
To put on their three-piece fancy suits, and they take their briefcase and ride the elevator up in their high-rise in the city, and they've got all their series licenses all over their walls and their fancy degrees, and they stare out over the city and they think, look at all these unsophisticated investors out there. I'm so much smarter than all of them. I invest in the stock market, in the cryptocurrency markets, in the real estate markets. These idiots who invest in the Pokemon TCG don't understand what they're doing. They'll never become rich and successful like me.
They're right, to be honest. I don't wear a three-piece suit. I try to wear a polo, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I've streamed plenty in a tank top too. Putting on your three-piece suit and going places. That's. I think you've just watched too many movies. That's just not how things actually work. It's not how the real world actually is when it comes to that. I know movies and TV shows like to portray that a lot. It's a competitive world when you're trying to go for a specific job, maybe like at Goldman Sachs, something like that. But they don't act snobby or anything like that towards anybody else. I've never owned a briefcase either. Maybe that's why I don't have 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, you probably aren't going to get rich on Pokemon cards, and I'll explain why later. It's not a bad flip. I think he knows a lot about Pokemon, but he doesn't know anything about the stock market. And honestly, flipping Pokemon stuff, There's other things. You can flip a whole bunch of things. Like right now, or not right now, Legos absolutely destroys Pokemon. I got a buddy that he kills it. He does a lot with Legos. As soon as Legos retire something through the moon on eBay, everything else, just kind of like you would your simple Pokemon cards, except for he got a lot of his Legos for free. They did like a holiday promotion where everyone that went to the store got it for free. Literally, those packs, his whole family got one. Some even got a couple. They all sold. That as soon as that thing was done, they sold for $40 a piece. Sold them all on eBay that same day.
And so the thing is, all these numbers are public, and you can actually do all the research yourself. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm going to do in this video is prove to you you can actually beat all the snobby, sophisticated, real investors by just investing in the Pokemon TCG. Yes, you're still outperforming cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the XRPs. Yes, you're still outperforming the stock market, the index funds, the mutual funds. Ooh, Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir. And all you had to do was just put your money in some silly Pokemon boxes and put them in your closet and not touch them for a period of years. Now, I used to make these videos a lot, and I used to get a lot of heat saying, Alex, you're being very disingenuous. You know we're not going to see those kind of gains we saw in X, Y, and Sun and Moon before the big Logan Paul pandemic, free money from the government boom. You need to stop acting like that's a possibility and sort of.
Okay, I'm here to tell you, I don't care if that is a possibility. We did that every year. You would literally never touch what I do in the stock market. Quite literally ever. Never. Zero. Zero chance. And I will explain why here in a little bit. The part that really bugs me about this is how dangerous this is, because people usually get this investing bug. I'm going to invest. I'm going to try my hand in the stock market, and they get it once. And typically that's right where it ends as well, because they go online, they go to YouTube, they go to Google, and they find something like this. And again, I genuinely like this guy. I'm not going to stop watching his content. I mean, this is a one-off. If I was his friend, I would have smacked that camera right off his desk. I would have bought him a new one, but I said, don't ever upload that, ever. I mean, that's genuinely where I'm coming from. But it's wild. And if you did that, you're going to lose your money. Full stop. And then you're not going to invest anymore. And that was your one opportunity you had. That was your one fork in the road where you could have changed your life actually drastically and been in a much better place in a few years.
Shield and so on. Well, guess what? We've reached our 5-way point in Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield has now been out for 5 years, 2020, 21, 22, 23, and now 24. And so now we're going to compare Sword and Shield and how you would have done investing elsewhere, or just putting your money in those boxes at release and holding onto them. And then we're going to take a look at some of the high flyer stocks, high flyer cryptocurrencies, and if we're going to take high flyers of those, we got to take high flyer Pokemon products. We're going to compare some high flyer Pokemon products.
You can compare every high flyer to even my basic stuff, and I would still win.
See how you win in Pokemon. Honestly, every step of the way, I'm going to spoil it right now. Pokemon wins. Pokemon still wins. And I think the reason it wins is, well, because all of the smart money and the very smart, successful people are all competing on the real markets, it makes these markets very easy to come out ahead on, because a lot of the people in these markets, unfortunately, they're not sophisticated investors. And they don't understand how to invest and how markets work. And so it makes it very easy to make these higher than average gains. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Before I do that, I got to shout out today's video sponsor. It is Arizona.
Yeah, we're going to skip the sponsor. Now, shout out to him if you wanted to go to the Arizona TCG. 13% is what you have to pay for them to sell your stuff for you. That's sweet. That's cool and all. No, what he's promoting right now is a fantasy land. No other way around it. I'm trying not to interrupt him too many times.
It makes these markets very easy to come out ahead on.
Let me tell you something about smart money. It's called smart money because people like you, you're just not. Okay, that's not a dig on anybody, but you just don't know. The financial markets are just not taught anything like that. Smart money is out there to grow their money. Okay, now I know everyone. I have friends that manage billions. It's with a B. Okay, I have VCs, right? Venture capitalists. They literally are out there just trying to buy things just to make more money. It is not just the stock market or real estate, but there is a reason they are in the stock market and real estate. It's because that's where things are liquid. That's where things can happen. That's it. You don't think if there was a single realm, if Pokemon was actually what he was doing, you don't think smart money would be in it? Smart money literally cares about a percentage gain, a realistic percentage gain. How can they turn their 100 into 110, 120? How can they turn it into 200? Whatever dream scenario he's going to propose, if it was realistic, smart money would be in it. And before any of the Pokemon investors try to really do anything, just stop. Pokemon, first of all, I love it. But it's a phenomenon, right? Like in the realm of Pokemon, in the time frame of Pokemon, 1999 is when I was doing it. We've seen Beanie Babies, Furbies. We've seen how many things come and go, and Pokemon has been relevant the whole time. There is a space for Pokemon, and it's going to be in the art realm, the alternative investing form. None of which the people watching this video are going to be in, and that's it. Again. My only problem is comparing the two. Awesome flip, fun time. Most likely you guys aren't going to pay taxes on any of this because you probably sold on Facebook Marketplace. Most of your transaction will be just cash or such an irrelevant number it won't even matter. Great time if you can make it happen, but it's not happening. Don't ever compare it to the stock market of any kind.
Because a lot of the people in these markets, unfortunately, they're not sophisticated investors. And they don't understand how to invest and how markets work. And so it makes it very easy to make these higher than average gains. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Before I do that, I got to shout out today's video sponsor. It is Arizona TCG. They are your source for consignment for your PSA yourself, and they're going to do the work for you. So that's how ETF speeder on Wall Street. 5 years, 90.7%. Now, all right, let's start out with talking about the S&P. So here's the SPY, the S&P ETF speeder on Wall Street. Okay, if you look right here, it's 92.77% up for the last 5 years. Okay, we're going to be looking at 5-year periods here for right now. So for the last 5 years, 90.77%. Now, a lot of, again, investor types are going to say, Alex, you forgot about dividends being reinvested. You forgot about compounding interest. My compounding interest is going to smash your Pokemon cards. Hold on there, Timmy. Let me finish. I'm not finished yet. All right, gotcha. So if you didn't know, on the...
Literally no one talks about that in this realm. No one. Dividend reinvestment on the S&P, negligible, next to zero. Makes a little bit of a difference, but no one's out here, like, that's no one's defense at all.
The S&P Index 500 speeder, the SPY, the dividends are already reinvested. So those numbers are already with all the dividends being reinvested. And here's the average return of the S&P over the last 50 years is 11.866%. And again, this is also with dividends being reinvested. However, obviously, it's performing better in the last 50 years right now. So we're going to get the calculator out, and we're going to round up to 93%. We're going to divide that by 5 years. And it looks like it's about 18.6% a year right now, which is crazy good.
Realistically, it'll even be 10. If you want to do the math and kind of say, hey, here in the future, you're probably going to want to do about 8%, to be honest.
18.6% a year on the S&P is wild. So we're going to take that and we're going to compound it. However, what are we compounding from, right? Well, as you guys know, with Pokemon, they release 4 mainline sets a year, meaning if you want to invest in one of every booster box, and again, you can multiply this number to whatever it is for you, one of every case, 10 cases, 100 cases of every product, whatever it may be, and you can multiply it by that number and you can do the numbers for yourself. However, for the sake of this argument, this video, we're just going to take one box. So if you bought one of every box, it'd be 4 boxes a year, $400, average retail price is $100 a box. You divide that by 12 months, that's $33.30, we'll round up 4 cents a year, okay? That's what it would cost every month to buy one of every box, okay? So we go to our compounding interest calculator, all right?
Now, I asked ChatGPT when they came out. So Sword and Shield, there's $100 in February. Rebel Clash, May 1st. Looks like 5. Champion's Path. Let's just say we go through all of these. Is one of these a gift set? Are these all? I started in, hang on, I just started. How are we forgetting? Scarlet Violet Base. That's kind of when that's literally right when I got back into this thing. But you're missing, there's even just jumping into what he just said is floating through a lot of stuff that's not even realistic. $100 for this. So you would buy, what you would essentially buy is, let's go up to the S&P. This is what he brought up, is the S&P 500. Now this is the top 500 stocks. And now they manage it for you. So there's rules, requirements, has to hit to be in this index fund, but it's the top 500. You need to have 3 brain cells. You need to open up a brokerage account, put money in, and buy the ticker SPY. Never touch it again. That's what we're talking about. Over a 10-year period, there's never been a time where it's down. And on average, it's 10%. There's years it is up 30%. There's just also years it's not. So when you break it down over a decade, it's typically about 8%. So kills inflation. This is where a lot of money does get parked to battle inflation. But essentially what I just brought up, if you were going to take that comparison to be realistic, you would, let's see, February of 2020 put in $100. May you would put in $100. So here's February. You would have put in $100, 322. And then what is it? May and August would be another $100. Let's see. May right here would have been another $100. And then August. Okay, so your average price would be right here. Now, if you did literally just that, right now on your money, you're up 93%. And what he's going to show you, I think, does beat that. But I'm going to get to why you won't beat that at all here in a little bit. But let's go to the dividend compound interest calculator for funsies, I guess.
All right. Forget all these numbers. We're going to put in our own numbers here. All right, so your initial investment's going to be $100 to buy one Pokemon booster box. All right, so you put $100 in the S&P index fund. And then every month, you're going to invest in your S&P index fund 33.34 because that's what you put aside to buy one every booster box. Keep it all fair. Length of time, we're going to say 3 years because remember, Sword and Shield was only printed 3 years. 2020, 21, and 22. Silver Tempest was the end of 22. Crown Zenith was especially set in 23, but we're keeping the booster box sets. All right, so 3 years. Interest rate, we know that, 18.6% or 60%. No variances, and we're going to compound annually, meaning you would have 1589.49 at the end of those 3 years. Now, we're doing a 5-year period, but we're not buying any more booster boxes, so we're not contributing any more to our fund. Keep it all even. So 1589.49. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and do no monthly contributions after that. We're going to let that compound for another 2 years, same interest rate, same compounding. And then it would give us, after our 5 years total, we'd have $2,235.77.
Wait, why are we not buying anymore? We're just going to keep those sets. We're not going to buy all the other sets? Because for you to even bring up the theory of this dream world, you would have to buy every set. Because you don't know which ones are going to pop. So you would need to buy all of them. You would need to keep everything consistent, the same.
Fund. Now, notice, that's not profit. That is your total amount you have in your fund at that point. All right? So, let's go to our Pokemon spreadsheet, shall we?
We shall.
Pokemon, Sword and Shield base, all the way through.
Okay, but we don't have these. In that scenario, we only bought the first few. Did we buy all these all the way to Silver Tempest? I guess he did do 1,200.
Silver Tempest, now look, if I put an average price of $100 you could have bought in at. I understand some sets, like Evolve these guys, or maybe Sword and Shield based during the pandemic, you might not have been able to find 100, maybe they were 110, 120. But other boxes like Battle Styles, Chili Rain, Fusion Strike may have been better. You might have found those $80 or $90, or Silver Tempest at $90. So it all pretty much averages out. You would have averaged out around $100 a box. So take that as you will. This is what all the boxes are selling for right now, okay? So your total profit would be 21.22. Now remember, this is what you have. This is what your total investment's worth is 33.22, which is actually 177% gain. If we go back to the S&P compounding interest, that's the total amount in the account. Meaning you've only made what roughly if you had bought whatever you're barely over double your money, right? With compounding interest, you barely over doubled your money. No, sorry, not even double your money. Sorry, $1,200. You haven't even doubled your money. And so, yeah, it's kind of sad to see the S&P index hasn't kept up. Now we can go.
If you buy the S&P, on average, you'll double your money every 7 years.
Look at the Vanguard funds. All right, these are the top Vanguard mutual funds. You can see the information technology fund over the last 5 years, 22%. The mega cap growth, 19. And we kind of scroll down. You can see that the average funds, the best funds, but even like some of the best funds out there are only in the high teens, and there's only one over 20% a year. When again, we go look at Pokemon, and we're looking at 177% over 5 years. Guys,
banging.
That crushes 15, 20% a year. Now, people are always going to say, Alex, there's fees and shipping. So first of all, I looked. All of these boxes are selling very regularly right now, meaning your liquidity is very good. You can get rid of all your investments right now.
Let me stop you right there. Sword and Shield base. Let's go over a couple of these. Sword and Shield base booster box. Got it right here. Ha! What do you know? I didn't know. I made it to this part. Let me scoot that back. I forgot where I was. All right, Sword and Shield base. Okay, we bought it for $100 when it came out. Unopened 304. So you're probably thinking I 3x my money. That's not bad. Current quantity 21. Sweet. Current sellers 13. Average daily sold 0. Total sold 21. So I hope you only bought one box. Now here's the fantasy realm. This guy, unopened, 290, still sitting here for sale. He's got 3 of them. So you're not selling this at all. Every one of your numbers is junk. Right now, if you really wanted to sell this right now, you could probably sell it for 60%. I know if I were to take it to a card shop, most card shops will give you 60%. And it wouldn't be a bad sale. I could put it on my website right now and probably sell it for 60% off. So 304 times 0.6, you're sitting about 182. If you were to, realistically, if I needed to sell that right now, I could probably find a buyer at 182. That's it. Now, hopefully you didn't put all your money in this because that's just me trying to sell one box. And right here, total daily sold 0. Banging. How much can I sell the SPY? I could literally sell it on a 24-hour market whenever I want. And there's millions of buyers. In fact, when I pull up the S&P, let's see, you can see on the chart here. If I wanted to sell it right now, you just get this thing off my books, 604.21. And if I wanted to buy it, 604.21, there is 0 spread. I can buy it or sell it for the same price. The spread is what I just kind of mentioned. Here's what somebody wants to sell it for, 305. That's awesome, but we don't live in a fantasy world. Okay, this is the real world. So that's 305 is this number, the ask, what people want for it. Who's willing to pay for it? And right now, no one. We don't know. Not a single buyer is showing up at these prices. So we know it's below 290. Can we go price plus shipping? Let's go what's the lowest? 495. These guys are out of their minds. Okay, so it only goes up from there. Okay, so Fantasyland number 1, broken. Those prices not happening. Okay? At all.
Now, if you want to, okay, you scroll down. Here is the selling fee of 13.25%. Here's the shipping fee of $8 per box, $96 because there's 12 boxes. And so shipping fees and selling fees, all right? Your total is still going to be 132% growth even after all the fees and shipping, which if you break 132, we can go get the calculator out. Let's go ahead and break 132 down over 5 years.
That's fantastic. That thrills me to death. Let's do a couple more. Fusion Strike was on the list. Let's bring up Fusion Strike. I tried to just pull up a few before we got in here. Okay, so 307, same thing. Average daily sold 4. Okay, so you bought your $100. You tripled your money in a few years. Not bad. After this, a little pump. Hopefully you didn't try to sell before this pump because then you only would have doubled your money. $100 plus tax, assuming you bought them all at $100 plus tax. What are we selling these things for? Average daily sold, low sale price 198, high sale price 324. Total sold 372. I could literally sell 3,072 shares right now at the exact same price. No way I could unload 3,000 boxes of these right now. 4. That's, come on now. 4. Okay, we'll just give this one 307. Let's go Evolving Skies. That's a popular one. Bang it. I know he's going to bring up cherry picking later, so let's cherry pick something. 919. You bought it for $100. Now, you would have had to buy every one of these boxes to still have this one. In that case, you would have to invest in the same in the S&P market at the same time. Okay, so 919. This has market price 944. Current sellers, there's 42. Now, 42 of those sellers have 179 of these things. Average daily sold, 2. Not bad. So you might be able to sell your one that you have, but it won't be for this price because you have to compete with all the other sellers. So if I were to toss this up at 919, why do they pick mine over yours? What you're going to have to do is discount it. You need to provide some kind of value, discount it, especially because you probably don't even have a TCG player account. It even took me a while to get one with selling cards. It takes a while to build up the reputation to even sell. You can go toss it on eBay, sure, whatever. Same thing. They're going to look at your reviews. Hopefully you have a cool eBay account with a bunch of good reviews. Not a lot of people do. And then we go down here. Look at this garbage. This guy is selling it for $705. But you know what it is? It's not even a booster box. It's 36 loose packs. That's like me saying, like, hey, here's, if you want, it's kind of like SPY. I bought some companies. Could you buy them from me? I'll discount it. It has nothing to do with what you're actually looking up, but close. 36 packs, 36 loose packs. So they're not even selling. These two, I don't know if they're even selling actual booster boxes. Is there even a booster box on here? 36 loose packs. 36 loose packs. Find me one that's even selling a booster box. Unopened. Let's assume this guy is for $925. Unopened. Okay, so 1,000. Okay, so the cheap ones are likely not. Okay, so there's still 1,000. And these guys, they're sitting here with product on their hands. Sitting here right now, in hand, $926. Not selling. Again, good job. I hope you didn't need your money because you don't have it. You have a fairy tale fictional world is what you have. Now, this is cool because what this relates to a lot is actually the casino. Because what most people really don't get, the casino makes all their money up front. Okay? When you buy this box, same thing as buying those chips at the casino. What they just sold you was probably about 25 cents. An actual casino chip to make, real numbers, is about 2.5 cents. So you gave them hundreds of dollars, and they gave you some plastic chips. Go crazy. Have fun with it. They know you're probably not leaving with it. Okay? And that's all you did was you bought some shiny cardboard in hopes that the art is cool. Somebody goes nuts over a single card inside. And what you're hoping for is most of this is just kindling and could start a fire. Maybe, and especially it's called Evolving Cries for a reason. So assuming you picked the best one out there, the box in there probably does not have the hit. I opened over 2,000 packs to get to my Umbreon that everyone calls Moonbreon. Okay? Over 2,000. You're going to nail it with 36? Good luck. You might be better off buying the $700 one. But let's jump back because it's gonna get even. It gets even better. Here's your fantasy numbers
that
again.
Is,
we can skip through all this.
What happened here? 132 divided by 5 is fund here in the last 5 years.
Hang on.
You've not only all of the index and mutual funds. So Pokemon is outperforming all the funds. There's no way around it, right?
And so
yeah, even with fees and shipping, all that stuff taken out, Pokemon is still outperforming all the legitimate investments.
What Pokemon did was tie up all your money. Now, what I haven't even mentioned is, we talked about liquidity a little bit. Now let's take Nostalgianomics and me, and we start. Both of us have $2,000. That's it. Now he goes and buys. I don't care what box he buys, and I don't even care what time frame he does. If we have a time machine, he can literally pick any scenario he wants. And I'll buy $2,000 worth of the S&P. Now the only requirement is that he has to spend every dime on Pokemon, and I'd spend every dime on the S&P. And then there's an emergency, or you need access to your money, because it's really cool when it does this. But did you need your money before that happened, or did something happen and you needed to sell right here? Maybe you needed to sell right here. What if you had to sell down here? Now that sucks. But you know what sucks even more? Finding buyers for crap no one wants. The reason why it's going down is because no one wants it. Okay, so awesome. Hopefully you didn't need to sell right here. You missed out on all these gains. You know what I didn't need to do to get access to my money? sell a single share. And this is something he doesn't understand or realize. If I put my $2,000 into the S&P, SPY, the very thing he's talking about, okay? Now, he even brings up that amount of money. I actually still have $2,000 worth of buying power. So not only do I still have access to my money, because here's something your Pokemon cards don't come with. I even have it right here. I don't have a green screen anymore. That's a debit card attached to my account. Yeah. Does your Pokemon cards have a debit card? Do you have access to that money? You don't. You have access to a fairy tale dream world that in hopes there's a buyer out there. Now, when you sell your now, if he sells us $2,000 worth of Pokemon cards for $2,500, in whatever scenario, in theory, he's supposed to pay taxes on that. So $2,000, sold it for $2,500. He has to pay taxes on $500, which is what, $100. No one else is outside that tax realm, so you're paying your 20%. He's got to pay $100. He's got $2,400. What I did was I kept every single one of my shares. Now, they grew to $2,500, so actually my buying power is now $2,500. And I could borrow against my shares, pay for that flat tire emergency, and no taxable event. You can't do that in Pokemon at all. In fact, I could buy SPY, let my money grow, and use that to actually buy Pokemon, and then something else. You can use this to invest a lot into your future. You just need to know what you're doing or even talking about. In this case, he really doesn't, and that's my biggest problem with this video, is you just don't know. And again, it's a fun flip, but if you don't know what you're talking about, man, you're going to ruin yourself. Not only do you give bad advice on YouTube, but you pissed away one of the best things you could do for yourself, for growth in yourself. Like I just told you how to make your money grow, how to actually still have access to your money without it being a taxable event, because you never actually sold anything, and your money is still growing. Once you sell, you lock that in. Now you're at square one. You got to go buy another. Well, it's not $100 anymore because prices have gone up. It's $110. So just to inflation in general, you have to. You have to spend more just to even regain a box of something probably more modern to go right back to your 110, and you got to wait a couple more years for that to hopefully go up. And I do say hopefully. Actually, as a matter of fact, this is no making fun of Pokevault, but I am curious here real quick. I made one video talking about it, and man, people came into my video talking about how Pokevault shouted out this booster box, said you should buy it. Now, he doesn't do this. Booster pack. We need booster box. My bad. I don't know anything about the story, to be honest. Oh, my God. I don't know how to type either. Are you serious? I probably should edit this. Booster box. Okay. Man, he was getting fired. Roasted. Well, good news is if you bought this for $100, you're up, minus all your fees. Let's go to the 1 year mark on this. Get wrecked. It's still doing good. It must have been a lot lower. I'm sure this was a lot lower. Anyway, bag holding works. If you held this, you wouldn't be in my comment section talking about how bad he was at giving financial advice, which you should. First of all, guys, if you're getting financial advice from a Pokemon YouTuber, what are you thinking? Do you take advice from your wife's boyfriend too? Like, come on. Now, that's not a dig at, their Poke-Any, Nostalgianomics, Danny Phantump. They're in the realm. They have, a card shop. If we're talking card shop to card shop, that's good. But a guy that just does pack openings, you're going to listen to as far as advice goes? You're going to put your hard-earned money into that? You have bigger problems than following somebody on YouTube, I promise. But had you held this for that time, you're up. Now, I would have absolutely blown this away with the S&P, but still, you still have to worry about sellers and everything like that. Now, average daily sold, 1, not bad. Let's see, unopened. Hey, this is a full-blown one for 150. You could let 145. Shoot. Okay, so I could probably let this thing go. I'm sure there's bots or something that scans this for the lowest price. I know if I list something for cheaper, there are bots that will actually update everyone else's price to 12 cents lower or something because they want to beat you. You can race this thing to 0. You just have to have the liquidity to do it. Okay, so I could probably list this at 130 and get a seller. Or let's say I had to take it to a card shop and get my 60%. I could sell for 93 bucks. You're $7 in the hole. You had this thing collect some dust for a while. You've made worse decisions in your life. Again, I don't think Pokemon's bad, especially once that set is retired. Just the supply alone, it won't be a sought out one, but there is the big Pikachu, the fat Pikachu. There's that one in here. It's got one card. Someone's gonna want that, and all of a sudden, 150 won't be so bad. Let's continue with the video. I think I've made my point enough.
Now, people will say is, well, Alex, what about taxes? All right, what about taxes on these? Well, Alex, I use these tax shelters for this. All right, I can use different tax shelters running a business, right? I can buy inventory to offset my profits. I can use business expenses to write down things.
That's right. You have to pay taxes. Yeah, I don't pay taxes until I sell. My money grows. I have access to it because I can borrow against my shares without ever actually paying taxes. You don't pay taxes on loans. You pay taxes when you sell. Good luck, guys. 13% plus your shipping plus another 20%. Sweet. So you're telling me when I buy that box of Pokemon cards, you guys think you're waiting for it to go up. In fact, what you're waiting for it to do is break even. Everything you buy instantly is worse than a new car because the second you buy it, you have to pay 13% to sell it. Let's say I bought it right now. Okay, for right now, Surging Sparks, because you're buying every set out there, Surging Sparks, $200. Okay, so $200, I got to pay my 13%. So there's what, $26 straight out the doors. We'll call it $30 because they live close. It's $4 to ship. So I'm out $30. So that thing is, if I sell it right now, I make $170 plus I got to pay taxes on that sale. So there goes another almost $40. Okay, so you turned your 200 into 130. That's if you left it sealed. If you opened it up, you probably turned it more into probably $20-$30. Banging. So what you need to do is buy that and hold it to go up just to break even. And then up a little bit further to be at a realistic break even because you're going to have to sell it at a discounted price to actually get your cash and be put in first place. Why would they buy from you? Why would they not buy from Nostalgianomics or the local card shop? You think they're just turning to Facebook Marketplace first? No, probably not. So you've turned your money into a much lesser position in hopes that it's going to grow. In fact, you're taking 6 steps backwards just to learn to walk and go forward.
There's always a tax game to be done at the end of the year. We're not going to get into taxes. If you want to have a tax professional to go talk about it all, you can. But taxes are always going to be somewhat of a gray area. The fact of the matter is, sophisticated investors out there on Wall Street. And it's kind of sad, right? Now, people are always going to say, Alex, what about if I'm a stock picker, right? Well, my Palantir stock in the last 5 years, it's up 650%. 650% on Palantir. Alex, my Tesla stock is up 1,600%. My Nvidia stock is up 2,500. Beat that, Alex. Beat that. Alex, I'm a crypto bro. Look at this. My Bitcoin was literally at 43,000 a year ago, and now it's at almost 100,000. All right, well, Evolving Skies beat that, right? Here, we can go back to the spreadsheet. Here you go. All right, Evolving Skies was, I don't have a year chart here, but Evolving Skies was like 400 at the beginning of the year, and now it's at 900. Or Fusion Strike, right? Fusion Strike was in the low 100s, and now it's at $300. So there's plenty of Pokemon items that have crushed crypto gains. But yeah, I get it. If you want to pick and choose, it's fine. We can do that. And then, XRP, Alex, look at XRP, 5 years.
If you want to pick and choose, sure. You could literally pick and choose your best box, and I'll realistically, and I mean in real life, beat everything you literally ever do in the markets. Realistic, not fantasy land, real. Like, we're going to compare receipts, real.
Years ago, 5 years ago, XRP was 20 cents, and now it's 240. Okay, so what, 800% gain? All right, cool, good for you. Ethereum, Alex, look at Ethereum. You can look at Ethereum 5 years ago. It was like, $296, $164. Now it's $3,800. Okay, that's cool. So what was that? Like 20-something, or 2,000-something gain? All right, cool, great. So it's right there with the old NVIDIAs, all that good stuff. Cool. So here's the thing. Team Up was released February 1st, 2019, before the pandemic really got going.
February 1st, 2019. Okay.
You could have bought this box for $100, $110, $120.
Okay.
Here's the price. Here is the last sold. You want to do the math? That's 3,000% gain.
Okay, 3,000% gain from 2019 to February 1st, 2019. So the S&P was 277. Okay, so let's say you just bought that and that's it. Okay, you're not up 3,000%. You're up 125%. Tesla, it was February of 2019. February 2019. 2,500%. Not bad. You still beat it. If you just forget everything I literally just went over and the fact that I could sell my Tesla shares right now. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin, February of 2019. Let's do that, February 2019, because we just bought all the same stuff. 2,500%, so I guess that's the best I can do. Here's the difference. I have 15 Bitcoins. Okay, where am I going to unload $1.5 million worth of Pokemon cards? Team Up. I don't care what you want to call it. Here's your Team Up booster box right here, 3,700. Now, he clicked on something. Is it last sold? Where's the last sold? Was it view more data? 12.2. Okay, $3,000. Not bad. We should use this on the other ones. Okay, so 12.2 was the last one. Sold for $3,000. Current sellers, 3. Well, I could literally buy all 3 of these, and then I would control the whole market. It would take 3. As in 1, 2, 3. If I wanted 3, I would have to pay shipping 3 times and buy it from 3 different people. Super liquid. Super liquid. So if you want to make any real money, no. If you want to flip something, yeah, you can make a couple bucks. But you're just not you're not getting anywhere. And I'm speaking to the average person. If you're going to put in a couple grand and that's it, and you're going to invest $100 here and there, getting into the realm of this is a card shop and a business, a very different story. But then you're dealing with lenders. You're not lenders. Well, yeah, lenders, vendors. There's definitely a lot more to it, and all your numbers are bigger. Now, it's still not as liquid. In fact, that's why most game shops actually do fail. Still sucks. It's not an easy gig at all. It's a lot easier just to stay in. Comparing this to a card shop is like living your life when you lived with your parents in high school versus the real world. When you get out and have to pay bills like rent, your cell phone, the lights, everything else. You can't do jack with this. I could sell 1.5 million right now and it wouldn't phase the market. I could sell 1.5 million in the S&P literally right now. Still nothing. Would not phase a single thing. Because that's just how it goes. If I was recording this during the market, I could literally show you level 2 data. Let's bring up the market real quick. All right, so this is level 2 data right here. Essentially, this tells you the bid and ask right here. Now, this is the NASDAQ exchange. There's multiple exchanges. Now, right now, this says there are 4 people. There's 4 orders. Every order is 100. So that's 400. This is 100. This is 100. 200, 200, 100, 500, 200, 100, 100, 100, 400, 100. That's right here, right now. And this is a Sunday night. No one's in the market. Come back during the day. These are hundreds, thousands, which means hundreds of thousands bidding in and out. There is a reason that was on. What was that on? That was on FedEx, by the way. No, that was Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla, liquid. The S&P would beat the brakes off that. It's the most liquid thing out there. And I could do that right here, right now. Oh, I need my money? Sure. Not only can I borrow against my shares, but let's say I have to sell. I want to sell for whatever reason. I could lock it all in. I could pay my taxes, and I could do it right now without talking to a single person. So again, there is no world outside of Fantasyland that this is ever a good idea. Pokemon is what you buy with extra money. All right, when you get your check, there's how much you're investing in, then you pay your bills, and then there's that disposable income where you go to the movies, you buy some other stuff, you buy some shiny cardboard, you have fun with it. Danny Phantump calls it the fun cost because you're going to open these packs up and then they're going to go to 0. On the chance you get a hit, it's the same chance. Beats a slot machine. But at least you have fun doing it. It's the experience. If you're doing it for a quick flip, there's a million better ways to do things than Pokemon cards. Legos actually is pretty liquid. It's pretty fun. I've never done a Lego thing. But this is super dangerous for him to be saying this Because if you're a Pokemon fan and you jump on and think, man, I'm about to trade the S&P. I've heard somebody say this. I'm going to go check that out. And then all of a sudden this video comes out. And thousands of people have already seen this video. And then you just piss away every opportunity you had of bettering yourself. The off chance now think of, hang on, Team Up. This is every set from 2020. Okay? None of these have done what Team Up has done. Okay, so you would have had to buy every single one of these. Now, that one went down for a while. A lot of these went down. Rebel Clash isn't doing crap. Vivid Voltage not doing crap. There's a lot of these that just aren't doing anything. Evolving Skies went up. I mean, he did cherry pick the best. Sword and Shield was a great set. Surging Sparks, there's been like a huge run in. So Surging Spark is the only one doing anything. And don't come back and say some of these are doing good. They're fine. They're not hanging with the market fine. Okay, they're just doing well, and it's a popular set. And right now it's going through a fun phase. That's it. When did Team Up come out? Let's just ask ChatGPT. Now we don't have to Google it. Please be accurate. Team Up set was released. Oh, February 20th. He even said it in the video. That's my bad. Show me every set from 2018 to today. 2018, Ultra Prism, Forbidden Light, Celestial Storm. Some of these do really well. Dragon Majesty, Lost Thunder. These are cool names that I've only seen PokeRev open up. Team Up. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. If you bought the last 34 sets, you would have spent $3,400, not including the fact that they've raised their prices on everything. You'd be at break even. This one box would put you at break even. You wouldn't be in a bad spot. Ta-da! Congrats. Is that what you're supposed to say? If you found a buyer for $3,000, you've made up some. Now, I forgot. That's a fantasy world. You have to subtract your 13%, then your shipping, and then your 20% in taxes. So once you sell a few more, you'll be at break even. A few more of the lesser sets, you could fill that hole in pretty quickly. But that's what you would need to do. So, nope, you would have been better off investing.
So, if we're doing all this pick and choose type stuff,
let's pick and choose.
Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, I'll pick Team Up. Here, I throw money in that stuff. All right, I throw my money in Team Up. Still beat you.
Oh, and now we're throwing all our money into it. Again, destroys it. Because now there's a whole other factor of buying power and what it does and how you could buy even more than what you have. So if I were actually throwing all my money into it, I would, in every scenario that I even just showed you 2,500%, decimate Team Up.
Still beat you, even after fees and shipping. Still beat you. Team Up still wins. And so this is the thing, guys. It's like every step of the way, there's an argument in Pokemon that beats the crypto or the stock market arguments, right? You look at the top stuff.
It only wins if you don't know what you're talking about. And I know I'm really probably being harsh. I don't like making these videos. This advice bugs the crap out of me, and I'll fill you guys in. I was sleeping in my car at one point in time, and I really was like, man, every rich person I know is in real estate and stocks. So I started looking into that, and then that's where I'm at. That's how I'm in the spot I'm in right now. Okay, my car probably costs as much as this house, which is a very ignorant thing to say, but that's where I'm at. And in no world would I have on that day said I'm going to go buy some Pokemon cards. Would I have done well? And it would have engulfed every one of those sets and then some. And no, I would still be probably homeless. That's it. Full end. Yeah, there's no world. I don't care what you pick and choose or cherry pick or not. There's no real world spot where you're going to do good with this.
Stuff in the stock market? All right, I'll look at the top stuff in Pokemon. You look at the averages over stock market? I'll look at the averages in Pokemon. Pokemon has still
I will take my averages over your top picks.
Over time outperformed traditional investing. And the reason this works is because all the smart money stays in the stock market, crypto, and real estate. They don't look at unregistered assets. And so a lot of the people, unfortunately, who invest in this stuff are not very bright. They're very emotional. They're in and out of these markets. And it allows people who have a long-term mindset, who are smart about their investing, portfolios in this hobby. You can do very well and actually outperform traditional investing by deploying your money and holding it long enough and knowing when to buy, when to sell, and all those good things in this market. And so those are the numbers, guys. Top Pokemon box outperforms all the top cryptos and stock markets. The average Sword and Shield era, right, has outperformed the average gains on the S&P index, even with dividends being reinvested in compounding interest. It's beat the best Vanguard mutual funds, beats them all. So what more do we really need to see at this point, right? This is an era that came about after the pandemic, right? Scarlet Violet is actually starting out better than Sword and Shield era started out. And so I don't know how much more data or how much longer we need to preach this, that Pokemon investing is here to stay. The gains are very real. The liquidity is here. The whole thoughts of who's going to buy this stuff in the future. Well, all these boxes sell every single day. So obviously.
I've just shown you they haven't. It's actually December 15th. The last box sold was December 2nd. Here, I'll bring it up again. As I'm recording this, it's December 15th. Now, there are some on the market right here, right now. And your last sold was December 2nd. So, no. Let's go to the other one. Sword and Shield Basic. We didn't pull this up earlier. I want to make sure we're good. Last one, the 12th. So, it's been a few days. So, been a few days on that one. Let's go Vivid Voltage. Hey, sold today. Not bad. So the only one sold today was the cheapest one. Let's check Evolving Skies. Make sure that statement's accurate. Yesterday. Okay, so is that, well, was it they all say unopened. Was that loose packs? We don't know what that is, actually. That really bugs me that they're even allowed to sell 36 loose packs under the booster box listing. I would tell them to get out of here with that. Now, to back him up, yes, again, Pokemon is that phenomenon that has been around and has stayed around. And there's been many things that have come and gone since then, and still, Pokemon's still here. I've told people about Pokemon cards, and like, oh, yeah, I remember the Beanie Babies. I'm like, I do. I remember when they came, and then I remember when they left. Yeah, so there's a lot I could say to defend Pokemon. Just in this instance, I have to tell you how crazy and how ridiculous this actually is. And again, I don't think he knows anything about the market. The way he talks about a three-piece suit and a briefcase and how he mentions smart money tells me he's never met anybody in smart money, doesn't know anybody that's actually a successful trader. It's probably coming from a place where he gets a lot of flack because he's a Pokemon investor on YouTube. So, I would just never, and I mean ever, compare these two ever again. And to the people commenting on him, I'm almost willing to bet they don't know anything either. So his argument with those people probably even still accurate. Let's move that back over. Anyway, investments should be 1,000% first, and then more investing, and then pick and choose your battles with investing. There's a place for it. In the ultra rich, they do it. So I called Pokemon an alternative investment. This is art. The ultra wealthy, they're not in Pokemon. All right, maybe $1 million Charizard card, but that's it. There is a reason why they're still buying the Mona Lisa. And I'm not here to talk about money laundering or anything like that. There is a place for art. But there is a reason why smart money just does not care about Pokemon. They've seen it. I promise you. They've looked into it. But it's just not realistic. It's not real. And if you only had $2,000, it's even that much more detrimental that you do pay attention and invest. Getting lucky on some Pokemon cards, it could happen. And you could do well. But it's not something I would just jump in with both feet and compare to actual investing like he does. That's very dangerous.
Maybe they're not you. Maybe it doesn't fit in your worldview or what people should spend their money on, but people do it. The fact of the matter is, the whole rich get richer, poor get poorer thing. Well, the more the rich get richer, the more they're going to blow their money on things like this as they want to enjoy their nostalgia or their childhoods. As people our age continue to rise up in the world and become in more positions of power and grow their companies or become CEOs or leaders of industry, they're going to spend their money on things like this to make them happy. And that's me.
It's definitely me. And very true. It's just a matter again of liquidity. Right, Pokemon cards have who in this world has not touched a Pokemon card in their lifetime? Everyone has. I mean, there's billions of cards, just not billions of buyers of the expensive stuff. I'm making more videos on how to do it. And I wouldn't even mind if he reacted to my videos. There's still a lot I have to know. I speak from a place of experience, and it's very clear that he is not. And 100% experience beats everything. Experience will take it home every time. So that's why I did just want to make this video, because that was very dangerous to even put out there. Dangerous because I just think of people that are in my spot, and if they watch that, again, there's that one time in your life where you're thinking about doing it. You're probably going to put money into a Robinhood, and you might have bought Bitcoin at its peak or something like that. And you probably had a bad experience because you never gave yourself the ability to be ahead. You jumped out and followed some stupid advice and lost all your money, and you never looked back. And that is why the poor get poorer. You think a savings account is making you money? No, it's throwing your money away is what it is. There's a reason why every rich person you've ever met has stocks in real estate. And if you don't ask your questions as to why that is, you're going to stay right where you're at your whole life. Buy the shiny cardboard. At least it's fun. It's a lot more fun than looking at stocks every day. For the last 12 years, it looks the same. Red and green candles every day. I've been doing it for 12 years. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm always curious to hear what your thoughts are. Even if Nostalgianomics watches this, I'd be curious. Again, I'll hear anyone's feedback. This is definitely not coming from a place of hate, and I can't stress that enough. The last thing I want to be is on what's the Opossum's channel, talking about weird stuff. It's just dangerous to compare the two, and I'm from this realm, so I wanted to make this video just to kind of, I guess, counter that. Anyway, let me know what you're all thinking, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.